Welcome back to your Daily Dose. I'm your host, Alize, and this is the Daily Dose where you already know we stay doing the most. And baby, I'm feeling good. Birds flying high. You know how I feel. Some in the sky. No, I'm joking. Y'all could skip that part. Oh my god. Breathe. Drifting on by. Okay, let me stop. Welcome back, y'all. Cause baby, listen, y'all already know what it is. I hope y'all are enjoying your beautiful day and y'all having a good day and stuff like that. Woo, we got a lot to talk about. So before I get into this, I do want to say I did have a therapy session this morning. It helped me to just realize a lot about myself. It helped me to really learn a lot more about myself as well as others. And I have a lot of stuff to talk about for the next few days. So I normally write stuff down when I'm having my therapy session. Um, but there's one thing I wanted to talk about, and my therapist pointed this out, and this made me kind of think about things so much more differently and see things so differently because, well, not just differently, but clearly. And this is something that has been, you know, brought to my attention that a lot of us do, okay? And I want to show y'all. Like I said, I write it down. It's more though. This is, see, boom. If y'all can read that, I know y'all probably might be like, you write terrible. Romance, one element in life. And that's what I'm going to title this video. Now, this really stuck out to me because I was never really thinking that between the ages of 20 and 26 and whatnot, we want relationships. We want to be loved. We want to feel loved. We want to experience romance. And, even as teenagers, I feel like we mostly play around. But like in our 20s and stuff, we definitely want to experience love. And, we want to just know what it's like to have, like someone, love us and, really be down for us type shit. You know what I'm saying? And not even just that, we want to really experience a true romance with somebody that we can spend the rest of our lives with. And I think we get this thing where this is something I have done. And if you've done this, then you'll understand in this video. Romance is not the all be all, okay? We tend to put romance at the forefront, and you can't do that. Because even though you want to be in a romantic relationship with someone, and I tie this into when you're manifesting a specific person, the reason we're so quick to want to be with this person or we want things to change with this specific person is because we're putting them at the forefront. We're putting them ahead of ourselves. And we're seeing them not, and then that's when we start to put them on a pedestal. That's when we start to think that this is they're the end be all. We start to feel like this person is my everything. When in actuality, you're revolving your entire life around a specific person, or you're revolving your life around this relationship, this romance, when you have to serve a purpose. When you're not, relationships are meant to be enjoyable. And I feel like they become so toxic when we put labels on them. They become so toxic when we start to try to control the outcome of what we want to happen with the relationship. We don't just let things naturally flow, and we don't allow those relationships to simply just come together or and allow things to unfold, because it's like, okay, this person, this my girlfriend, this my boyfriend, or this is my girlfriend, this my, whatever you like. And we start to, it's almost like we don't realize that romance, because we're so caught up with it being at the forefront, we forget that it's becoming a distraction. It's distracting us from our goals. It's distracting us from our passions. It's distracting us from loving ourselves. It's distracting us from, our purpose in life. And we are spiritual beings going through a human experience. Therefore, relationships are just supposed to be something we enjoy. That's why we're so caught up on someone when we, that person breaks up with us, because we put them at the forefront for so long, and we put them on this pedestal, and we, this relationship is like, my relationship comes first. Your relationship should never come before you, and it should never come before your goals. I don't care how you see it. I'm not going to be the person to sit here and say, okay, yes, you want to focus on manifesting this specific person or manifesting this relationship. But at the same time, I'm not going to tell you that that should be just your main focus. Romance should never be our main focus, because it's just one element in our life. It's just something to enjoy. It's something to experience. And sometimes they may not be good experiences, but those are lessons that we learn from. Those are experiences that we go through in order to teach us and to help us grow and to become the better version of ourselves and get to that next level in our life. And sometimes those experiences that we go through, it can hurt us, it can damage us. And I've been through a lot of romantic relationships where I have been hurt, but that's because I wasn't loving myself, and I was so busy putting that person first that when that person left me, before that I was putting them not only first, but my whole world revolved around them. It revolved around their feelings, their emotions. It revolved around me being there for them. My world was consumed with just my relationship, that once that person left, I had this attachment to them. And it was like the attachment of, or not even just them, just the relationship overall. The attachment of, well, I don't feel needed. I don't feel like I'm wanted. I don't know how to be alone. I don't know how to be by myself, because I'm so used to someone wanting me to save them or be there for them or to love them. And, I'm so used to that I forget that I don't even know how to do that for myself. So when we allow our entire world to be consumed by romance, we are putting ourselves at a very stagnant point in our lives. And it leads us down a path to where we go down this dark path to where then we stay stuck in that dark space. We stay stuck because it leads us to depression. It leads us to anxiety. It leads us to fear, to doubt. And we start to feel like, if I'm not in a relationship, or if I'm not being loved, or if I'm not getting that affection from someone else, it's going to be hard for me to function. And psychologically, that can really fuck with you, because that's why a lot of us find it so hard for us to be alone. That's why a lot of us can't be alone, because we put relationships at the forefront, when truly the forefront are our purpose in life, the purpose that we serve as spiritual beings, and what we need, and what we are actually designed to do should be at the forefront. We were put here for a reason. We didn't go through these experiences because, oh, you were put here to be with this specific person, or you were put here to be in this relationship. And then, no, you were put here for something so much bigger. That's why we go through these experiences. It teaches us that we can do better. It teaches us that even though we went through this and even though we made these mistakes, it's okay because we didn't know better then, but now we know better now. And we have a better judgment of how we could, we have a better judgment. We have a better perception, I want to say. Is it perception? We have more of a clear understanding of how we want things to be. You know what I'm saying? We have more of we have more of a, it's something I'm looking for. I'm sorry, y'all. It is a lot. I'm learning new words too, because I have to expand my vocabulary. But we not only have a better understanding, but we also are able to decide whether or not, okay, I've seen this before. I know what this is like. So now I know that I don't have to experience that because now I can choose what I want to experience. And we can experience good things in our lives. We can have better relationships with individuals. But the reason we don't have good relationships is not just only because we just put the relationship at the forefront, but we don't even have a relationship with ourselves. So when we're so used to always being there for somebody or always being in a relationship, it's so hard for us to be alone, and it's so hard for us to know how to love ourselves and give that to ourselves without going into this space of, damn, oh, I feel worthless, or I feel like I'm not good enough. That's why when people manifest these specific people, you're manifesting them and you're coming from a place of fear. You're not coming from a natural state of, I really want to manifest this relationship, or I want to, that's why when I said in my last video, you're manifesting that specific person. You're saying, this is the person I want to be with. This is the person I only see myself with. You're putting you're putting limitations on your manifestation, and you're causing resistance because you want to control everything. You want it to be your way. And when we are putting romance at the front, we're not realizing that, damn, I have other things to focus on. What about your finances? What about your spiritual health? What about your physical health? What about your mental health? These are things that are more important than just a romantic relationship. And sometimes when people get into romantic relationships, they get into romantic relationships because either they're settling and they don't really want to be with that person, and that's not the person they want to be with, but they settle. And sometimes people stay in these relationships that are so toxic because you decide to settle. You don't want to take the opportunity to break the relationship off, heal and heal within yourself, and learn more about who you are, and become self-aware of the things that you allowed, far as you not setting boundaries, or you allowing people to make you feel a certain way, or you going through an experience of what happened with mommy and daddy, and you constantly attracting those same individuals that are like your mother and your father, because the first relationship when we come into this world stems from mommy and daddy. And if that relationship wasn't good, then the next relationships we're going to manifest into our lives, or not just and I'm not saying manifest consciously, but subconsciously, we're going to manifest and attract these people that are just like our parents. And that's why it's so important to really not allow the romance to be the end be all. Yes, you want a relationship. Yes, you want to be with someone, but it's not a necessity. It's not something that we need. It's not something that we should just say, okay, yes, when you get into a relationship, don't put this person on a pedestal. Don't put your relationship above everybody else. I've done that. That's why it was so hard for me. It wasn't the fact of me being able to let go of my ex-girlfriend. It was the attachment that I had and the feeling that I was getting from it, because I was feeling like if I let this attachment go, I'm not going to know how to function. I'm not going to know how to really love myself, or to really understand who I am. I'm going to be lost. But the truth is, when you allow yourself when you start to put the relationship like romance in the back burner, you will start to see that there are so many other things in life besides being with someone else. You will start to see that you have more of a greater purpose. You will start to fall more in love with your purpose. You will start to fall more in love with yourself, and you will see that you're a dope ass person. You have a dope ass personality, and you will start to realize that it's a privilege for people to be within your presence. It is a privilege for them to even be able to be with you, let alone be your friend. and you will start to hold yourself up to a higher standard, and you will then see, damn, there's so much more to life, just like when people with nature, going outside, getting more in tune with nature, or being able to be more nurturing, and really adopting these new ideas, and adapting to a new environment, and truly actually becoming more than what you thought you could be. And you will it's almost like my friend, he was telling me this, shout out to Omar, I fucking love him. He was telling me this. He said, it's more to life than just relationships. And I never really understood that until my therapist told me today that romance is one element in life. It is not the multiple elements. It is not, it's not the entire, your life should never be revolved around just one specific person. So when you are manifesting these people, I'm not saying that you won't get the specific person, but if you allow yourself to just really focus more on other things in your life, you will then see that shit will come to you more naturally, and it will come to you in a manner of seconds, minutes, because you've decided to surrender and to let go. When we are trying to always control shit, we're saying that's where the ego comes in. Like I said in my last video, you have to stop and you have to remember, let me tell you this, when you manifest a specific person, do not put them at the forefront. They do not belong at the front. There's other things. Your mental health is important. Your physical health, your spiritual health, even your finances. Focus on manifesting other areas, manifesting peace, manifesting happiness, manifesting true abundance, and self-love for who you are. People assume that when we are manifesting these things, it has to be because I manifested this, so that makes me a powerful manifester. And I don't believe in that. I really don't. And a lot of people might say, oh, Alize, I don't agree with what you're saying. And that's okay, but it's really understanding. Also, she goes on to say that manifestation. She goes on to say that romance is very superficial. Hold on, I have to look up that definition. Like I said, I'm still learning new words and stuff like that. Existing or occurring at or on the surface. It means shallow and care too little about meaningful things. Definitions of superficial can have a negative flavor. Calling someone superficial is saying that they are shallow and care too little about meaningful things. A relationship is, I'm gonna be honest, romance, like a relationship, is something that you want to take seriously. And it's important that, I could be wrong when I said that romance was superficial. I'm gonna go back on that. But I might make a separate video from this, breaking that down. But relationships are very sacred, and they should be handled with love, and they should be taken very seriously, okay? And the reason is because I'm pretty sure if you take the relationship with yourself seriously, then you will take the relationship with others seriously as well. And others will also take you seriously. But see, a lot of people don't understand the true meaning of a relationship. And they don't get that a relationship doesn't have to be romantic. A person who is your friend, or even an animal, can teach you how to love, can really show you the true understanding of what love is. And then even you yourself, we have this thing where I have to be with a person, I have to be with a partner. You don't have to be with anyone. The number one relationship you want to have is with you, because that's the most important relationship of all. If you have a broken relationship with yourself, you're going to have broken relationships with other people. And that's something that she was telling me. And I haven't even realized that the reason I'm always trying to change something or change another individual is because I'm seeking myself inside of that person. And there's a piece of me I'm trying to put inside of them. And that's not right. That's not right. So when you guys manifest, you want to come from a state of truly understanding and knowing that this is what you want. Understand that relationships is not something they're important. Yeah, relationships are important. Yes, it's important to have relationships with people, but it doesn't mean that a romantic relationship is the most important of all, because it's not. And majority of the people in these relationships are just in them because they want to say that they're in a relationship. They don't even understand the true meaning of a relationship. Half of the people in these relationships aren't even happy because there's no communication, there's no boundaries. People are it's toxic. They're walking all over one another. I've sat there and literally had to listen to a friend of mine constantly complaining about the same person that she's been with and the same individual that literally busted the windows out of her car she's with. However, I'm not going to say any names, but at the same time, sometimes we don't allow ourselves, we have this thing where we just put it first. And I'm not saying that the person that she's with can't change or whatever the case may be. No, but at the same time, to me, I just feel like I'm not going to put a relationship first. Like I'm not going to put romance first. The first relationship I'm going to have is with myself, and that comes first. Because if I don't check in with me, how can I really love and check in with someone else, if that makes sense? You get what I'm saying? So understand that that's just only one part of your life, that you have other things to focus on in your life. You have a purpose to live. You have a purpose to, there's a reason why you wake up every morning. It's not just to sit on your ass for the next 24 hours. It's not to sit on your ass for 24 hours a day. No, you wake up because you have a purpose to serve, and because the divine is telling you, go out there and complete that purpose. Go out there and do what is needed to be done. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit here, and that's why I say we have an attachment to these individuals. Don't get so attached to an individual, because when that person leaves, okay, like say if they die, you have to really know how to be by yourself. You have to know that, okay, there's other things that I can focus on that are going to really, help me continue to move, to do better for myself and to create more of a better life for myself. There's a lot of things. There's so much more things to life than just romance. Okay. And trust and believe, I know, guys. You see this ring? I didn't buy this ring for no reason. I literally tell myself I am married to an amazing woman. However, I'm not in a rush to be in a relationship. Do I want one? Yes, that's one element in my life. But however, I have other things to focus on. I have my job. I have my YouTube channel, the things that I want to focus on with me. I have a decision, a choice to make of whether or not I want to go back to school and continue to, get my degree and actually become a counselor. There's a lot of things that I have to focus on, and there's a lot of other things that matter more than just having a romantic partner, because that does become a distraction. And then it later on becomes an obsession, and you don't want that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I hope this gave you guys a better insight on when you're manifesting these relationships and you're manifesting these specific people. I'm not saying that you're not going to get what you want, but understand, when you just surrender and allow things to naturally happen, you open the doors to more opportunities, and you see that there's so much more to life than just being with someone or being in a romantic relationship. And stop settling. Know when it's time to walk away. Peace.